Hello everybody, this is Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the USA. Today I have a card for you to demonstrate. This is using a Sale-a-bration set that's available from the beginning of January to the end of March from Stampin' Up! Whenever you purchase a minimum of $50, you can get this set for free as an add-on item. This one's called Heartfelt Blooms, and it's got this beautiful image of these flowers and leaves here. It's a new type of stamp for us. It's called a distinctive stamp. It was designed by taking a photo of actual flowers and then creating the rubber image of it. So something new that we're experimenting with at Stampin' Up! So we're going to use this set today to create this card here. Today I'm using Soft Sky as my primary color, and I chose to pair it with Early Espresso as my neutral background there. And I'm pairing it with a piece of Designer Series paper from our Coffee Break Designer Series paper pack, which is in that Soft Sky with a nice kind of fishbone detail to it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you how I put this card together, and you are welcome to case it, share it, enjoy it, and if you are so fortunate as to put an order in and get a free set during celebration, this might be one you want to choose. Okay, so here's my card kit to start with, my basic supplies. So I have my Soft Sky base, and I've scored it in the middle at 5.5, and I'm going to use my bone folder to give that a nice crisp crease. And then on my scoring pad, I've rescored it halfway, so another 2 3/4, so I can fold that back. So that kind of creates a Z-fold card. Let me score that with my bone folder. So you see it kind of makes a zigzag card. So that's my base. Then I just come in with my Designer Series paper, and I'm going to snail that on to this front panel. I just have that stepped in slightly from my edges to give it a border. So pretty easy so far. Alright, so now we have to do our stamping. So I'm using Soft Sky ink, and I have my stamp from my set. Now I'm going to stamp this lightly. Being that it's a distinctive stamp, it has different detail in its flowers. And so earlier I stamped it and it was too wet, so it got kind of a blurred image. And when I stamped it again, it was better. So let's see how it goes this time. Cardstock has two sides, so if we don't like it, we can do it again. So it looks pretty wet. We'll see how it looks when it comes out. Stamp that down. Make sure I get that center detail image. It's a little bit dark, so let's try that again. If you like that, it's your card, you can use it your way. I'm going to flip it over and try one more time. So I'm going to ink up my stamp again. And this time I'm going to stamp it on my scrap paper over here on the side. And lightly stamp it off. And then I'm going to huff it, which means just kind of put moisture on it by huffing it with your mouth. And then I'm going to stamp it again. So kind of took off the excess ink, left some ink on my image, and now I'm just going to press that onto my cardstock. Much better. I like that better. Okay, so now you can see that it's got the different images of the flowers in there. I'm now going to take my Early Espresso ink and add my sentiment. I chose to make this one a thank you card. I don't think anybody can ever have enough thank you cards. So I'm putting that up here in the top. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip that over and add my snail to the back and position that on my Early Espresso, which is just slightly larger. I usually do things in 1/4 inch increments. So, alright, now for adhering this onto our card like that, here's my little tip. So here's the edge that's going to be snailed down. So I'm going to flip that over. I'm going to put a strip here. Then I'm going to come right on my card and I'm going to put a strip right there. because if I guess where to put it here, it might overlap onto where it's opening, and then we'll have a problem. So on the edge and on the card itself. And now I just position this centered, left to right, top down, and press that. Sometimes when the ink is still a little wet, I fold it over and give that a good press so it sticks. And there we go. Now, I have my Webster brush here. And what I'm going to do is just kind of highlight some of these flowers. So I'm just going to squeeze that a little. Obviously, it's kind of dry. I just used it, but that's why it's designed this way. So you just give that a little squeeze and it sends the glitter to the tip. Alright, so now I'm just brushing that onto my flowers right over my ink, which by now has dried a bit. I'm not being super detailed, I'm just really putting it on the flower images. I chose not to do the leaves because I wanted there to be a distinction between the different parts of the image. So you can see I'm not being super careful here. I'm just spreading this around. This is a great alternative to using glitter. It doesn't flake off. It applies very easily. You get that shimmer and sheen on your image with all that, without all that dusty glitter sticking to everything, you know. We used to say when we used glitter that you'd come home saying, "Oh, where were you tonight? I thought you went stamping," and your husbands all get very excited because you're covered in glitter. Alright, so that's all Stamp of Stella, Wink of Stella on there. Hopefully you can see that glittering in the light. It's very subtle, so you might not catch it. Alright, now I'm adding a ribbon to my image here as well. So this time I'm using our new Organza ribbon. It's kind of got a detailed edge and it's kind of thin in the center, so I think that's pretty cool. And this time I decided to put a bow on my card, not just a knot. So what I do is I measure my ribbon. Since I want to tie a bow, I need some extra. So I'm usually going to go twice for getting it around. I usually go about another half for tying the knot. So I'm going to go 4 times now to get a bow. So it's always better to go a little long and trim it off than to go too short and not be able to get what you want. The other option would be also just to pre-make your bow and stick it on there with a glue dot. So whatever works best for you. I know some of us are bow challenged. So I'm just trying to split that between my lengths. So I bring that in and give it a knot. Now this might be where you want to use a glue dot to put underneath that first tied knot, just to help you hold that in place. I'm going to try to do it without today. So I make 2 bunny ears and I tie a knot with my bunny ears and pull it through and let those tails go where they want. And now you can manipulate your bow to be the size you want it to be. So this one's a little bigger than the last one, but that's okay. Every card is different, and every card is designed and made by someone. So, and then this one's got pretty long tails. I think I'm actually going to leave them long on this one. It's kind of foofy. So if you want to tack that down now, you could just take a glue dot, if you hadn't done it already. And I'm actually going to move this in just a little because that's going kind of close to the edge. And just put a dot behind the bow and tack it down. So there, we have our card. Then for the envelope, I just took the stamp again. Bring this back in. I took the stamp again. I stamped an edge of the stamp here, and I put my thank you on there as well. If you're going to stamp a card, you might as well stamp the envelope. So there we have it. My first sample with my bow kind of nice and tidy, and my second sample where my bow is a little more frilly. So perfect for a guy or a gal to send a thank you note for. So I hope you enjoyed this video again today. I have all the links below for the details of how I cut my images and the different steps I followed. If you're interested in more of what I do, you can subscribe to my show and tell newsletter. It comes out every Tuesday, and you have all my video links and my details of promotions I'm running, plus everything that Stampin' Up is currently running as well. So again, below in the description you can find the link to subscribe to my show and tell. And until next time, I hope you have a lovely day and happy stamping. Bye-bye.